Hello, so let's start talking about how do charges interact. All right, so to be able to start this conversation, we need to think about where exactly is it that we find these charges and what are they. So atoms contain particles, and these particles have names. And that is what we mean when we're talking about a charge. A charge is a particle. Two of these particles are called protons and electrons. Protons are the positive charge. Electrons have a negative charge. You probably already know this, but when we have two light charges, right, a negative and a negative, they're going to repel or try to move away from each other. When we have unlike charges, like positive and positive, they will be attracted, so they will move towards each other. Another important thing to also keep in mind and to write down into your notes is that electric force is the force between a charged object. All right, so make sure you pause the video and write down this information into your notes. Around a charged object, there exists an electric field. Something really important to remember is that as you move further away from something with a charge, the field and the forces, they start to get weaker the farther and farther away that you go. And then just a curious fact, you don't need to write this next part down into your notes, but that field lines actually point away from the positive and they go to the negative, and that's what you see here. They're going from positive to negative. And then finally, the last bit that I want to cover here in this video is how do charges build up? They can build up through a process called static electricity, which is essentially just that buildup of charges on an object. And essentially what happens as electrons are the particles that move from an object to an object. So when there is an accumulation of electrons in an object, that object becomes negative. And because the first object has lost all of its electrons, it's now mostly made up of protons, therefore that object is now positive. And I have that annotated here for you. Thanks.